James and Akim Akitunde. Yes, we all know that the thing that is common to every leap, especially in Nigeria, is the issue of security. Security challenge here, security challenge there. A whole lot of messages across social media telling you that you cannot leave your security to the security agencies alone, telling you what to do here and there, telling you that a whole lot of advice, pieces of advice coming from a whole lot of people. Don't leave home too early, don't come home too late, don't travel with groups, don't move around in your car with noticeable stickers, so that those who are looking for you will not actually know who you really are. Or a whole lot of issues, and that's what have been bedeviling the nation right now. So, on this discussion segment of the program this morning, we want to look at the topic, tackling Nigeria's security challenges beyond the military. Yeah, beyond the military. And we'll have two guests in-house to look at this issue with us. We have a social commentator, Ifeanyi Nwachukwu. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, Ogun State.
And of course, we also have a former lawmaker and a former member of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Honorable Leye Odunjo. Honorable Leye Odunjo, you're welcome to the program as well.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nigerians.
Okay, let's start this way. If we consider this topic, tackling Nigeria's security issues beyond military approach, are we saying military approach is not yielding anything for us in Nigeria? Mr. Iwuchukwu.
Thank you very much. You see, to get to the root cause of any problem, you need to look at the foundation. The United States is everywhere in the world. They were in Iran, they were in Iraq, they were in Afghanistan in the past 2 decades. But it has become clear through different administrations, whether Republican or Democrats, that they need to get the boots of those countries. Because you cannot totally over-militarize or legislate a people's way of existence out of life. So the military basically is to defend the country's external borders, while the country's internal borders is purely an issue of policing. And the modern police should have a civil relation with the populace. But until you get to the root cause of societal issues and melees, you will just create new problems everywhere the military goes to. And like Fela said, anyway, a good military, wherever they go to, they only leave blood, swords, and tears. So we need to, when you open the door of a school, you close the door of a prison. So we need to look at more civil-oriented, populist, and welfaristic solutions to the root cause of insecurity in the States. And this has worked in Colombia, in Pakistan, even in the Philippines, that have had older issues of insecurity and insurgencies than our states, which is just barely having these issues within the last decade or so.
Okay, Honorable Odunjo, do you buy the idea of what Mr. Iwuchukwu has said? Do you think the police alone can do this thing, these security challenges we have now in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. I want to tell you that the police alone cannot handle the security challenges we have in this country. It has gone past their level. And I want to tell you that the police also have their challenges too. They are not well equipped. If you see some of the guns our policemen are carrying, patched, taped, and what would they use to face the sophisticated equipment the artillery or bandits are using? And I want to tell you that the government have a lot of responsibilities to make sure that our security operatives are well equipped with sophisticated weapons. And apart from that, like I saw on the social media, that I didn't hear it from him anyway, that late General Sani Abacha said any country that has a insurgency for 3 months or something, that means the government is involved. And I don't see why our government is not really working on the issue of insecurity. It is getting out of hand. I read on the social media this morning that government, I'm not sure, I'm not confirmed, that government already approved the another airline carrier that will be going from Sudan to Nigeria without proper, without due process. And it's creating fears in the mind of all Nigerians that Sudan is known to be a country that where terrorists are being trained and all this. Where do we know that all these are going to? I think our internal machinery should be properly handled, at least to make sure that we secure the country. I want to tell you, say Fulani, blah, 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 coming to Nigeria through Niger. We have our security operatives at our borders, our border entries. What are they doing about it? You will see that people, they will tell you trailers were stopped on the way carrying Fulanis, carrying this, carrying that. And where are they coming from? When you hear that they were all arrested and accosted on the way or something, that is the end of the story. You hear, nobody knows what happened to them thereafter.
And the weapons.
So, and we have a lot of challenges, security challenges in this country, and I think the government should do more. They still need to just do more to make sure that all these things are corrected. We have a lot to do to make sure that we curb the menace.
If you look at the reports, if you look at where the issue of banditry, kidnapping, majority of where it has taken place, you look at there are vulnerable areas like close to border villages in the north, and of course schools that are at the outskirts of the town or thereabout. Now, if you look at these indices and looking at the situation of things, how do we bring security to that area that are very vulnerable? Outside the military, what can be done?
Well,
if we are saying we should begin to look at security challenges beyond the military.
You see, when the FARC rebels, for 50 years, the government was, in Colombia, the government was using a military approach to solve the FARC rebels issue. And lives were lost, families were shattered, and success was not being achieved. So they came in with programs which included farming, sports, and these incentives brought back some of these commanders. They dropped their arms, just the same way Yar'Adua, with his ailing kidney, went to the south, knowing that the oil in the south was vital to Nigeria's growth and development, told those former militants that I know you are angry, and I know that you have the oil that feeds this nation, but I want to be your president because some of your people voted for me. And the amnesty program was clear. And some of them were taken on scholarships, some were integrated through other means of survival and livelihood. The truth is that the northern part of this country is very porous. And it appears our immigration is not so motivated to nip this in the bud. Border violence and border control is a challenge even for advanced nations. But the sincerity of the government at the center, in any democracy, to nip these things is more of a function of how it will be solved than the dying and the poor and the vulnerable who are weak and who didn't take the vow to protect themselves and their properties. So we cannot shy away from the fact that security is an exclusive list, it's on the exclusive list in our democracy. So it's not enough for the president to tell the governors to take care of their territories when the governors don't command the CPs, the GOCs, and the head of the military organizations in their states. They may control them on election day in the election year. But the truth is that in practical terms, the president promised us restructuring before he was elected for his first term, and it's cause for concern that he's appearing shocked that people are calling for restructuring, because we cannot The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing shall be added unto you. In our democracy, we need to fix the political problem, and the economy, social, we all fix themselves. And this insecurity has different roots. In the East, it's more about self-determination.
Yeah.
How can you do railway gauges that are standard in all regions, and you go to the East and you do a narrow gauge? The people there will not be comfortable, knowing that they have the least number of states, least number of government areas. And in some states, like Imo State, the people feel betrayed because the man who came number 4 was sworn in as number 1. And if you watch some of the videos available, the unknown government even have time to tell the people to go in, and they attack the police, the INEC, and the courts, because these are the 2 agencies they feel brought in a man who was number 4 to number 1. In the South is the militancy. In Benue, in the Middle Belt, which is a serious food belt of this nation, it's more about one Ghana who was a head of a militia trying to protect his own part of Benue from killer herdsmen, and the government went into an agreement with him. But it's unfortunate, as they were going to the capital, the army brought up this man in the government convoy and killed him. I mean, do you expect his boys to be happy? And since then, we have seen the deaths of prominent Benue images, including the other brother of the former governor. You see, Lord Chesterton, a former British diplomat, he said, anger supplies the arms. So people don't need to even have arms to be violent. It's like this gang rape issue. In India, there was a popular rapist, something Dhawan. For 10 years, he was protected by the police and the politicians. Then one day, he was in court. On his way out, he was even mocking a woman he had raped. And lo and behold, these Indian women with their veils, about 200 of them, they killed that man on that day. You can verify this issue. They were not trained policemen, they were not trained soldiers. But they were angry that the state has failed them. And when the state fails a people, they resort to their tribe everywhere in the world. And with our religious leaders, some of them are having, when we have our sisters being killed in church, and with the fake pastors and imams, with the news we hear every day on our papers, people are likely to take the laws into their hands, into their arms, unless something is done seriously to nip it.
Okay, Leo Dujo, when we say tackling Nigeria's security challenges beyond the military, I think the military is just used in quotes to symbolize force and arm. Yes. Now, you're welcome back. We also have in-house to join us on this discussion, Comrade Kunle Shodipo, who is the Director of Public Relations, PCRC Southwest. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was on you, Honorable Leye, before we took that break. I said, when you say tackling Nigeria's security challenges beyond the military, we're actually talking about taking force out of the whole thing, so to say. So, are we beginning to look at the kind of advice given by the popular Muslim cleric that Gumi, that Nigeria government should actually negotiate with bandits? Is it part of the option?
I want to say that it may not be out of it may not be out of place to negotiate with the bandits, but are we really sure negotiating with the bandits will put an end to all the bandits, the insecurity of the nation? And I want to tell you that it's amazed me at times when I just see some of these people. We know the bandits, we know the terrorists, we know where they are. If we have one of our people going to meet them to discuss with them, and we still see that government is not ready to go and tackle or face the bandits or the terrorists, we are at their base. And I think if that is what they think can end the insecurity of this country. Why not go for it? But I think it has gone beyond that. I still feel there are some elements that they are the purpose of banditry and terrorism and all these things in this country has not yet been achieved. They still have their target. They still know where they are going because they know how to end it. I'm sure the government know how to end the insecurity problem we have in this country. I still see the hands of Esau in all of this. But I think I want to also say that it's the best thing for us to do, like everybody has been saying, is to make sure that we are ready to protect ourselves, because whatever we have is what we use to protect ourselves. If the military are not ready to protect the citizens of the country, if the security force are not ready to protect the citizens of the country, I know all of us will rise up one day and make sure we want to take a step to protect ourselves. We cannot continue to wait and see and continue to watch all these people killing everyone. Every day you wake up in the morning, the first thing you see is people being killed, people being kidnapped. Kidnapping has taken over armed robbery.
Yeah.
And I see that it is not even the Fulanis alone that are doing this. Some of other elements have joined them. Some kidnapping in the southwest are even done by the Yorubas. Some in the east are even done by the Easterners. And it's going on and on like that. I think there are so many things that need to be done to make sure that all these things are taken care of. There is no employment, no job opportunities. The economy is dwindling down. We still feel people need to make sure that the means of livelihood are available for them. And I think we have to do more. We have to do more than negotiating with the bandits. Like my brother Wanchuk or something. Am I right? What you said the other time that Yar'Adua negotiated with the southern militants the other time, and it worked. It was because government was not part of that militancy. And this time around, you will always see the hands of the government in all of this. Yeah, I'm surprised the president said the governor should go and secure the governors don't have control over the security forces in the country.
The headship of the security forces.
Yeah, they don't have control.
Even in their states.
Yeah, even in their state. They don't have full control over the commissioner of police. They don't have control over the commander of the military army cantonment in their state.
But they have over Amotekun.
Yeah, they have over Amotekun. So, but Amotekun too are not well equipped.
For now.
For now.
They are just evolving.
They are just evolving. And I want to tell you that even if the governor wants to,
Amotekun alone cannot secure.
They cannot secure the country. They cannot even secure their states. If you want to bring in ammunitions or arms for the Amotekun, I'm sure they will not allow the thing to to enter into this country if they know they are bringing it in for Amotekun. But if it is for the Boko Haram or Fulani S-men, they will sure get all those ammunitions into the country. I think there are so many things that are underneath these security challenges we have in this country. And apart from people trying to secure themselves,
you are not saying that if you don't allow arms, lawful arms to come in and that can be traced to those who want to use it, like
yes.
Amotekun,
Yes.
then illegal arms will find their way to come in and get to the wrong hands.
And get to the wrong hands. And there are illegal arms coming in almost every day. Almost every day. And they are coming in through our borders. My dear brother and sisters, you see the sophisticated weapons the Boko Harams are carrying up and down. You see, honestly, it's so disheartening. And our own police, our own Amotekuns, our own army soldiers are using the 1975 manufactured or 1969 manufactured arms and ammunition. Where do you go from there?
It's so bad that just 2 days ago in Kebbi State, the governor actually, it was a big event, took the search to flush out banditry in the state to even with the help of the local hunters. It has come to that the local hunters are also joining in looking. But we'll come to that. Let me come to Comrade Charity before you come to your questions. Comrade Kunle Shodipo, from the PCRC level, what changes are we likely to see that will actually encourage and improve security beyond the military?
Thank you very much. Let me apologize for coming late on the program. Our governor is trying to construct new roads, and we give kudos to the state government. So the traffic was very hectic. I had to park my car and find my way here. Well, the PCRC, as we know, the Police Community Relations Committee, as a bridge, or let me say an intermediary between the police and the community, have been doing great work, especially on the part of orientating the community on what security is all about. Gone are those days when people believe security should be left alone with our security forces. Gone are those days when people think, what is my business? You know, it does not concern me, waiting concern me. But now people are working up through different engagement programs and creation of micro units of Police Community Relations Committee. Those are beneath our divisions. We used to have the divisions, you know, controlling things, and we now discovered that it has gone beyond we are waiting for just the divisional police officer to sit in his our office and cover a lot of communities that are under such division. So we have taken it to the micro unit, and we have been doing a kind of sensitization through community engagement. So people are being trained on personal security, you know, self-defense, and so many other things, and what you need to do in your community in case you see an intruder, in case there are external forces coming into your community, how not to be aggressive, how to get people who are in charge to know what is going on in your community. This has been going on for quite a while. But you permit me to contribute a little to what has been going on, especially when we say beyond the military. You see, when the enemy you are dealing with, are you getting me, is within. Because the fact remains that there can't be any external attack in your home or in your territory without an insider. And so what we are dealing with in Nigeria presently, I must tell you, it has gone beyond only external hands. We have internal forces involved. And so the first thing we need to do, that who are these internal forces? Because if we fail to address this, we will just keep parabolating and keep wasting our resources. What is going on when there was a former government in place and we saw a different trend? You get me now? When the new government comes in, you see another trend. Before we were talking about Niger Deltans, now we are talking about the Fulani. Now it's gone beyond Fulani. So many people are taking advantage. My respectable personality here talked about even Yorubas and other tribes getting involved. Now people are saying that it is lucrative. Now who are these power brokers? The problem we have in this country has to do with power brokers. People who feel they were not contented with the present leadership, and they are doing everything to sabotage or to make sure that that leadership does not look capable, so that they can have the opportunity to now use that as a campaign tool when it is time for election. To me, that is what is happening, and we need, and if those who are leading us presently don't also have the capacity to withstand it, you know, to challenge these problems, or to put the necessary strategies to confront this problem, they will also look as if they are not capable. And before you know it, we'll just be changing, because I want to ask you, sir, we have been changing. Since I was young, we have been saying Nigeria go better, we'll go to this side, come to this side today. Nothing has changed, because we have not really tackled the problem we have. Those who are from a certain part believe they have been changed. So when a new part gets there, they will be taking steps to make that part look as if they are not capable. It gets to another part. Those ones also sit down and look for another strategy to play a return game until we become very sincere with ourselves and see Nigeria as one. And we are ready to face Nigeria as a one nation. And that's why the issue of restructuring that we have been clamoring for, to me, is very, very important and very vital. The issue of military, we cannot use forces now. What my guests have been saying all the while, they have been making good points. They've been making sense. You know, continue using force. It will get to a point that the will of the people will definitely, submerge those forces you are using. So what is very important now is for us to sit down. What is our problem? If our problem is that we don't trust ourselves, let us sit down
and build trust.
And build trust.
Okay, Mr. Let me continue with Mr. Iwuchukwu. Now, he's been talking about traditional way of tackling this security. We talked about Amotekun, talked about other those hunters going after the bandits or going after the
regional security forces.
So can't we use traditional means of crime control from the beginning? Because if we start using them, I think this crime rate will be reduced. So what traditional means can we use to control crime, especially in Nigeria? Looking at the different tribes, looking at the different regions, looking at the different languages.
Well, thank you very much. I'm a Christian, so and a Catholic for that matter. But in a democracy involves
traditional doesn't mean charm. I'm not talking about charm.
I think she's not talking about charm. She's talking about localized.
You said you're a Christian.
When all beliefs have traditions.
Yeah, sure.
So and traditions evolve. So your grandmother might think you are not the proper woman by the way you are dressed now, because surely you are Iwo and Buba. So when I use the word tradition, I'm not necessarily going against our traditional systems, but I'm talking about the democracy. In Ondo State, there is a kingdom there in Akoko Edo, one Akunu. There was a time some of these bandits kidnapped some people. The princess, the head of that village or community, was even a woman, and some hunters rescued the victims of the kidnap. So any means that can bring our life back is welcome by any group of people.
Yeah.
But when we use the Amotekun, as we say, now my brother here from the police community relationship has come. Last month or some 3 weeks ago, Jennifer Tobun told the whole world that there was intelligence that some marauders are approaching Oyo and the West. But that was just at that level. What we say security is all encompassing and it's for everybody. Please, what will the poor farmer in Ibarapa or the market woman in the Igongo do on the day of attack with bare hands? Will they use seedlings and brooms and the things the women have brought to say to fight people with AK-49 when the president has told us to shoot those with AK-47? And you talk about insiders. Have we looked at, we have seen evidences that some Bureau de Change operators were involved in sponsoring terrorism. The United Arab Emirates has given us about 12 names who are sponsoring terrorism. It goes beyond pursuing the crayfish and the snails in the ocean. You go and nip the sharks and the whales.
What have we done about these names?
What have we done about those who we think are insiders? Our Minister of Communication was accused of being hovering around Salafist terrorism. What did we do? Shehu Sani is in Kaduna. He is comfortable with being in Kaduna, and he has said that some of the shopping malls and event centers in the villages of former army chiefs and northern senators are owned by these men. In Dubai, we are getting reports that some of the service senators former senators and former governors own a reasonable amount of the loveless and costless choice items in Dubai. So don't you think that some people in this government at the highest level are involved? This is true. But do we stop our efforts in fighting this insecurity? No. Christ always knew that Judas was a betrayer. But it didn't stop him from doing the work of God. And today there are about 2 billion Christians from the 9 billion people on earth. So we do not need to talk about this government was not elected to remind us of the failures of the previous government. They were elected and they swore to oath to protect us at all levels. So the earlier they come together
and change our lives
and have a
positively.
synergy and have a political will to be constantly reminded of the oath they took,
The better for all of us.
and with a judiciary that is committed towards bringing people to book. It is not ideal that a senator is sentenced to
7 years.
7 years in jail, and suddenly because one judge was promoted from the appeal court to the Supreme Court, then that senator is now a free man. I mean, who does that?
12 years.
When the poor are the only ones being incarcerated, the time will come when the angry elites and the angry poor will come together, and that might not augur well for the government at the center,
Mr.
or even in the states, in the 36 states, where sections of a state are seen as never to be competent to produce the governor, and some people think it is their manifest destiny to produce the governors, and they don't even do anything in the regions that they feel will never be competent to produce the governors. My brother, there was a reason why the 11 brothers of Joseph were envious over him.
Okay, Mr. Kunle Shodipo. The other time, Mr. Ifeanyi was talking about intelligence gathering and information, and then using it as a tool to fight this security beyond military approach. You as an expert, PCRC, and you deal with information, you deal with informants, and tell people, go there, whatever you see, you tell us. Then you take it to the police. Has that helped in any way?
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to say boldly that it has really helped because we cannot be talking about some very instances, things that has happened, what the police have been able to prevent. I mean, being proactive when it comes to. For so far so good. Like I said some of the problems we are facing has internal hands, and before coming to that, conclusion, I have so many cases that I've seen. For instance, I'll give you a very good example of the role played by PCRC intelligence and what the result we got. We had a seminar one time last year, I think during the tenure of the former CP, and we brought everybody on board. We said, as long as you are a good citizen of Federal Republic of Nigeria, you can join PCRC. We don't have any restrictions to anybody, and we brought even paraga sellers. We brought everybody. And it was during this seminar that somebody somewhere around Shagamu axis felt, there's something wrong that I never knew. I think this seminar has been able to open my eyes. I need to get across to PCRC. And this particular woman came across to us and said, these are things she has been, observing for over 4 years. My sister, 4 good years. And after this seminar, she has realized that there is a need to check. Although it's going to affect our income, but there is a need for us to check what is going on. My sister, lo and behold, that information was turned to intelligence, processed, and at the end of the day, we discovered that this group of armed men have been coming into Nigeria from a neighboring country. And they come in at some certain period of every year. And once they come in, they bring good money, give to this particular woman, to prepare all sorts of meals, and they just do as if they are custom officers. They even had their uniforms. And they go about kidnap, rob, do all sorts of things, and when they are done, make good money, they escape to their country. And it was through this seminar that we were able, and at the end of the day, these people were apprehended by the then Commissioner of Police, and the necessary things were done, and today it was a bygone story. Now, the thing is, it is very important. There are so many things. We have gotten to this point because those who are intruding our country have discovered our nonchalant attitude to security. We are so nonchalant when it comes to security. A lot of us believe when we build our house and we have electric fence and we have you understand, we are good to go. Or when we have the bulletproof vehicles and we have everything to protect ourselves, we are good to go. So now at our own level, we have gone to the extent that even our members and Nigerians now know that before you take a security guard, before you take house help, you have to look at who that person is. Because that person might be sent by somebody to come and see what is going on in your house. So all these things we have done and we have gotten good results. So as far as we are concerned, we keep saying it. As long as a larger percentage of Nigerians and our locals wake up, we might not be able to protect ourselves without AK-47 or AK-49, but as long as our security sense is awoken, let me tell you, there is no way somebody will want to intrude us and that person discovers that all of us, we are awake and we are ready to defend ourselves in whatever way we know. I said it, Amotekun, good concept, we have supported it, we have been saying it's good, but let me tell you something, the same thing I talked about, that there is something going wrong up there in Nigeria that we have not addressed, is that same thing that has killed Amotekun. Because to me, when Amotekun came on board, yeah, good one from the Southwest governors, but when I saw their uniforms, I was shocked. If you want to do something and you want a different result, you need a different approach. I saw they were also dressing like the normal military, police, or whatever. They had uniform, they had bata. We said Amotekun for crying out loud. I believe that when I say Amotekun, I must see the rank with Oweyo. I'm a Christian for that matter, but I believe in our traditions. I believe before the advent of Christianity or what Islam or whatever we do, we have Olodumare. We have been calling on Olodumare. We had Awofufu and Awodudu. The same way we have Jesus and the devil, the good and the bad. So I've never been against any religion as long as what you are using your religion or whatever source you have is to do good. So what I'm after, I belong to the light. I'm a child of light. So but for our local whatever, Amotekun is coming on board, we have our local powers, our local whatever, and we cannot see any sign that, okay, these are local whatever, local solutions to whatever. Don't get it wrong, sir. External forces have invaded some towns in Odua and in Ekiti. And they were unable to find their way out of the place until, security forces came. How did that happen? Through local, whatever. We have local powers. God has blessed us in Africa. Let's stop all this culture we have imported and we think is the only thing that will work for. What is working for the white man is what he believes in, what they believe in. That is why they are the ones producing all these machineries. But we have our own machinery, we have our own source of power that we are ignoring. I'm telling you, if we go back to it, the locals will protect themselves without AK-47 or AK-49. Some are doing it, I can assure you. Some are doing it, and they are ready to do it to protect the Nigeria as a nation. And because they are patriotic, they are saying the major problem must be addressed. Because even if I'm protecting myself, and the major source of our problem is not addressed, which is the fact that we don't trust ourselves in this nation. That is our major problem. And until we sit down and restructure Nigeria in a way that those from the north will trust those from the south, and those from the east will trust those from the north, we are not going anywhere. We will keep wasting our resources. I'm not canvassing that Nigeria should break up. If Nigeria break up, I've thought about it. He mentioned the point now that there are some states where some people believe that some segment cannot produce governor. These are things that will come up when we break up. Because even without Nigeria's breakup, we have been seeing some people, saying that they are you understand? So
they are bound to rule.
They are bound to rule. So imagine if Nigeria breaks up, what will happen in Yoruba land? And the question is, if we break up for now, what do we have to fall back on? An average Yoruba youth is more or less in Yahoo now. An average Yoruba youth thinks he's educated, he can do anything on the internet. Those are the things. How many of them are in the farms? Who is empowering the youth to go back to the farm? We are just hearing about economic empowerment. We are not seeing the money. I give kudos to the current Commissioner of Agriculture, Dr. Adiola Odedino, and the incumbent governor, but I'm challenging them to do more. When we are saying we are giving out facilities to youth, have we really empowered them? How many of them, is it not based on political sentiment?
Are we really doing it in a way that those who are supposed to get it are getting it?
They are saying that all form of empowerment,
Yes.
if you are not, those concerned are not from the ruling party, they are not likely to get it.
That is true. They are not likely to get it.
That's the truth.
They won't.
Honorable
Surely not
Odujo
get
is
it.
confirming that.
Yeah, it is. Because, you know, these are some of the things that happens, you know, and we politicize all these things we do. And we don't have to be sentimental, but the moment you become the elected, you know that you are representing all and sundry, not only your political party members alone. You are representing, you are representing everyone in your constituency. I think we still need to orientate ourselves more on all of these things. Like he rightly said, the government is trying, but you know, some of these things you do, you don't really throw it open to everyone. It is secluded just for some certain set of people to benefit. And that is why the people are not seeing what you are doing. But if you open up, a lot of people will see what you are doing. And I want to tell you that maybe I should just digress a little to talk about like the question you asked Nwachukwu, traditional
way of
handling. I want to tell you that yes, we still need to do more. For example, in Ogun State, people are not kidnapped where we have good roads. They are kidnapped where roads are bad. So I think we should improve on our roads. You know, everybody is afraid to travel on Nimeko Abeokuta road now because
that exists. The
roads, the Chagamu, the roads are Ilara area, the roads are bad. Because it is at that spot where we have bad roads that the kidnappers kidnapped our people. A lot of people will now leave their car at home and travel on Okada because Okada can maneuver on all of these routes. But if you and that is why the kidnappers to use Okada to aid their movement,
escape.
You know, so we have to do more on all of these things. At least it will save us from. At times when I drive on the road, and you will see our road safety, Federal Road Safety Commission men. The only place you see them, we find them is where roads are bad, the bad portion of roads, so that they can apprehend the motorists. I think they are supposed to at least complain that so section of the roads on this place is bad. Yeah. Federal Road Safety.
Assuming all the roads are good. Won't FRC do their job?
Won't they do their job?
That's the question.
They will surely do their job. But you see them standing there. Or even police officers too, they stand there.
Yes.
So they look for where roads are bad to do their jobs. These are some of the things that need to be looked to. Government need to make sure that our roads are also in good condition. It will also help us.
Let's also allow Ifeanyi Nwachukwu to speak on this. He's been itching. But in addition to that, are we not having this problem? Won't we continue to have this insecurity problem if some people, like you said, are treated as above the law? And talking about government being involved in court, talking about enemy within, what do you say to the experience of the parents of those kidnapped students in Kaduna who paid 180-something million to kidnappers and also bought 100 motorcycles? One person cannot ride 100 motorcycles. Are you telling me while all this were going on, there was no information out to government to know that some people, once you bought 100 motorcycles, 100 riders will take them at the same time? And it went like that. No reaction.
Yeah, so let me just come to what they just spoke. You see, when people are idle, it's a serious issue. In the Southwest now, there's a trend that is going on that is strange. In Osun State, internet fraudsters had the guts to go to the headquarters of the EFCC to protest. That should send a signal to all of us. FUNAB, where students should behave like monks and nuns, studying botany, zoology, agricultural economics.
Forestry.
Students went to protest against NDLEA and EFCC. I mean, we are not talking of a polytechnic or a liberal university. We are talking of an agricultural university. It has gotten to that stage. And in the last 5 days, one of the wives of an NDLEA official was found to be selling drugs. So these students know that you can't come and disturb our own lives here when your top shots are involved in the cartel. This is a social issue. On the issue of the bad roads, I stay in Shioye. So from Ibarapa to my house is not like an hour. From Ibarapa to Imeko, Olorunda, these are areas that I know very well. The spot where that doctor and nurse were kidnapped about 3 months ago or so was the same spot where the driver and the same 3 women were kidnapped. Bad roads.
And probably some people will still be kidnapped there.
Bad roads. Obviously, so if that road was good, the response time of our military or paramilitary will be effective.
Yes, true.
And these guys are in the forest. So it's better the committee on security make sure the joint task force stay stationed at that end. Because they won't come to Abeokuta because there's population and there's civilization. So there's no need for us to wait. They come from the forest and we're not going to give them money and bites. On the issue of El-Rufai and the government when this government was trying to come into power, El-Rufai said anything that must be done to bring back our girls, those Chibok girls who were kidnapped under the PDP, because then they were seeing it as a PDP APC issue. But it's a human issue. Now he's in power and he's saying that he will not do anything, he will not pay ransom. And his wife is going to the farm and saying, I told my husband that no one should pay ransom. I mean, let them not joke with Nigerians. People are dying, people are suffering, mothers are healing their daughters who were raped. Southern Kaduna is where Archbishop Kuka is from. He has spoken more than any cleric on this issue of insecurity. But it appears the president is more concerned with what Shegumi is saying. So we need to know that we're in a secular state. We are in a secular state. I mean, if El-Rufai says that, a man who was to be in charge of the restructuring committee, then you know that more needs to be done. And like you said, the sincerity at the top, we go a long way. It won't be easy. To fight insurgency, terrorism is as difficult as fighting the mafia. Italy is still fighting organized mafia. They took in some of their, in fact, the former prime minister of Italy was apprehended. Top judges were killed, but they still made effort because now these guys want us to stop schooling. Now we want to extend the date of NECO, of WAEC, of JAMB. I want to scrap NYC. One of the best things that happened to this country. In fact, for me, the NYC is one of the greatest. Is the institution in this country that works because they have from orientation to mobilization to posting batch A, batch B, batch C. And some of us who are, some of Nigerians who have not traveled, it was one of the avenues for them to interact, see other tribes. That was one of the best things Gowon fulfilled in his 3R policy after the war. But the government needs to see that everyone in this country, there are Nigerians who are doing a great job in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. And like you said, I know what you said on the intelligence gathering. In sociological and psychological and antisocial behavior, intelligence gathering goes a long way. There was a period some Nigerians were more of the criminals in New York or California. The police just took more Nigerians in the force, and the Nigerians could pick the Nigerians who were not doing great things in those states. You know, we Nigerians, we are doing a lot of great things. But there are some Nigerians, some few, in some countries who are acting strange and are affecting our public image. But it's still an extension of the state of affairs in our country. How many Americans, South Africans, Germans do you see trying to come to Nigeria? But in Nigeria, once one of your brother or sister gets an American passport, it's like good news. It should not be.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
If we really have a country we'll be proud of. I mean, about 20 years ago, you interviewed me on a sports program. Have you imagined what the Brazilians did on how they stopped crime with increase in sporting facilities? So for the young minds who go to university or be employed in the labor force that is barely 5%, I mean, where will the other youths go into? Some who might go into crime.
Reorientation work now.
See, from that point he stopped. I want to ask a question. Most of our GRAs in Ogun State used to have sporting reserve.
Immigration
Where are they? They have been sold.
I don't even want them to be in the GRAs. They should be in
being
the
sold.
places where the poor are.
There
Because
should
the
be
poor
one
are
in the back
talents.
of
Exactly.
There should be one in
There
one.
are a lot of
I
things to
agree.
be done.
Not in Lekki or
Exactly.
Because that's where the raw talents are, and they can
You
go
are
to
correct.
the Olympics and win
And
gold.
win gold.
And they help their families and inspire those who can't afford to go to school, who are rising.
Then the question is, our Ministry of Sports. I love doing one thing. I encourage whoever is in government. It's not easy to be in government and to lead. But one thing I want to say is we need more of creativity in people who are in some of these ministries. You know, we can't be a Ministry of Youth and Sport Development, and you don't know what I'm saying. We need more creativity. Get more creative. There are creative thinkers to get the youth engaged. So challenge the energies of the youth.
No, they use it wrongly.
Yeah, exactly.
Honorable Leyodujo, let me ask you this question. Now, are we as a former lawmaker, and of course, let's look at it from the Senate to the House of Reps and of course to the State Assembly. Are we having enough legislation to stem the tide of insecurity in the country? Do they, our representatives, have human feelings also? I'll give you an example. We experienced the protests during EndSARS. And we all know that EndSARS was beyond just SARS alone. It's like a bottle up for what has been happening. Now, we expected our lawmakers to lead by example, probably come up and say, drop some things that we think they are earning that is too much for them. But up till this moment, nothing has happened. Are they showing enough leadership? Are they doing enough legislation to actually stem the tide of insecurity in the country?
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to quickly tell you that legislators are trying their best. It's just that Nigerians don't really see much of what the legislative arm of government are doing. The legislative arm of government are also constrained when they make laws. They are not to implement. But you know, they are just to make the laws. And when we make all these laws, it is for the executive to implement the laws. But most of the laws a lot of people don't know that we have certain laws existing in this country, because most of these laws are not implemented. They're not implemented. Look at, I want to tell you, I don't want to be partisan. I want to be sincere with all of us here. You will know that this insecurity issue is not affecting either only PDP, APC, or any other political. It's affecting everyone. And you see the National Assembly are really crying about the level of insecurity in this country. In the Senate, you see them complaining about the attitude of the presidency to some of these insecurity challenges we have. And most of them that are even saying something, talking angrily in the Senate chambers are even members of the ruling party. So it has gone around like Yoruba will say, "Wani Otikari." It has gone around everybody. Nobody is not excluded from this insecurity problem. I think the legislators I'm sure they are doing their best at all levels. But it is not left to the executive arm of government to implement some of these laws. We have beautiful laws that are made in this country, but implementation is a problem, because executive may think implementing this law will actually affect whatever they think they are doing or whatever they want to do.
That means there's sentiment.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. There's sentiment.
Okay,
most of the legislators are not really.
I also Ifeanyi and of course Kunle to react. But let me tell our viewers that you can be part of the program. Okay, we have Akonde already from Obada. Hello, Akonde.
Good morning, everybody over there.
Yeah, good morning. You know what we are discussing? Go ahead quickly.
About the program you are talking, I'm very, very appreciate. And Mr. Shuku, or what is his name is calling, the man is bold of talking, of saying the truth. And what happens in this country is that we don't respect God and the law. Because they say the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Any post you are, anywhere you are, you have to fear God. And more so, concerned about security, please don't let us deceive ourselves. We know what to do, we don't do it. They devote money every budget on everything. You know, security is the most important in everywhere. Whether you are selling yam, you are in the farm, you are whatever position you are in this country. If there is no security, nothing you can go nowhere. But what I'm surprised is this. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
We are saying people from north, people from south, we are special people. Even the politics we are practicing in this country is not that everybody that can involve. Please, let us sit down on a round table. We have to think of moving this country forward. Tribalism, all these sorts of we are this, we are that. Can you count for over there? All the posts it has been given to one side of the people. And if anything happens to their people, they will not take it off, either from police station or whatever. They will back up some people without doing the right thing, right punishment, so that we can use people for scapegoat, so that I can be an example for the other people that want to be on that line again. I have a lot of to say, but please,
Thank you. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. It's
Okay.
if you do the right thing, when somebody do bad thing, other people that want to do it, they won't go there again.
Thank you.
I have the best of the day.
Akonde, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've made your point. It's gladdening our hearts that people are foiling us. We are so confident that it's a very, very serious issue. Looking at the security challenges, we've tried the military, and of course, just like you said, are we saying we don't have military that can flush anybody out of Sambisa or anywhere?
We have.
Are we saying?
Yeah, we do.
We do have.
We do have, yes.
But it is what they tell them to do that they'll do. They take instructions. Let me tell you something. I won't mention names. I have an army officer who was in where is Sambisa area or what is it?
Maiduguri, Samuel.
He told me he left army. He ran away, Papa. He left because he said their commander will take them to the war front. And it is this commander that will also sell them to Boko Haram. When they get to certain spots, they will start smoking. That smoking, the smoke,
It's a
it's a signal
That is what
to the Boko Haram
Okay, we
that
have
Let's take this call quickly. You made Babatunde from Ijebode.
Ijebode.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. We have just 2 minutes to contribute. Go ahead. Babatunde, are you there?
Problem can be solved within a TV, but we are deceiving ourselves. You don't want us to say, in the Bible and the Quran, God wants us to be united. The people who wanted to separate, God separated them and sent them away. They call them wicked. So it's always good. Unity is the best. But how can people want unity and they want to rule some people like slaves? How can you say we should come together? You don't want us to say people are succeeding. If people are not satisfied, people should say they want to get independence, even in your home. Parents are not treating children rightly. The children can run away. That's an independence. So people know the right thing. You want to make certain people slaves, and you want to rule over us, and you say you want to stick together. It's not possible until people change mind. If they don't change mind, the one we all, everybody are shining away. We don't want people to separate. We are going to separate later. Leave that alone.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Babatunde.
Yes, if
I was saying something.
Yeah.
That the leader of the team will now start smoking. That is a signal for the Boko Haram to know that they are around. Then they will now come and attack them, kill
Soldiers.
soldiers, Nigerian soldiers. And there's a way he does his things. He will just put some certain tribe in front of the wall and keep some other tribe behind. And this is what he has been doing. So one of the tribe in the south now saw that this is what this guy has been doing to kill some certain set of people, and along the line they attacked him. He himself was shot by our military officers. You see that is what is happening in the war front there. They take instructions. At least, okay, Boko Haram are there. We have some people that are giving them food. How do they get their food? How do they get all these vehicles? How do they get petrol? How do they get fuel to fuel the Okadas and the vehicles? How do they fly around? Do you see them changing clothes? How do they get those clothes? Who dry clean their clothes?
Who constructed the runway?
The runway for them
in the forest.
I want to call our attention to this in the southwest. You notice that any trailer that is coming to the southwest, packed full of Fulanis, you find Okada with them. They come around here with Okada. I still feel all they are doing is to monitor the terrain of the whole of southwest. So that by the time they are going to strike, they will have known all the exit routes. You get to have all the Okada bus stops. All you see there is the Fulani. Most of them are not Nigerians. They are not even Nigerian Fulani. Wow. Some of them are foreign Fulanis, maybe from Niger, from all other countries.
Personally, with my experience, quickly, I was shocked one day. Okay, we have Onosoya from Ijebu. Okay, quickly, Onosoya, it's getting interesting. Are you there, Onosoya?
No.
Okay, I was shocked. Somebody directed me in a what do you call it? In that Olomore axis. Yeah. I said I should just get an Okada. The first Okada I called Hausa, I said no. The second, you will not get it. The second one, about 6 of them.
Yes.
I mean, they are not from that part of the. I just said no. You will not know the place because I don't trust anybody to just say, okay, I know the place.
I know the place.
And of course, until I now saw, then I was wondering if this is what is going on, and this is whether you like it or not. That axis also is not all that enclosed.
Yes.
We just hope that our security men are taking it.
I think they should do something about it.
Thank you very much. I want to assure us, all these points have been, it's been a concern to the police, and they have been working on it. And but like I said, I will still keep going back to the issue of sincerity, trust, and our system. You have said it on this program that the Commissioner of Police is not 100% controlled by the governor. Yes. And so let me tell you, some of these officers are on hot seats. Sometimes there are things they know it should be done this way, but they can't just take that decision. If they act based on directive. But I want to assure you, if you look at Ogun State, for instance, you will see that the issue of Okada has been taken up, and presently unregistered motorcycles are being arrested. This is Nigeria. It's one Nigeria, and sometimes when you are taking some steps, you have to be very careful, because between 5-10 minutes, some people will turn it to tribal sentiment. The next thing you'll be hearing is Ogun State Police Command are arresting Hausas alone. Before you know it, some people will be meeting and they will start something else. Now, what we are saying is, okay, the trucks are loading them in. We have some people saddled with the responsibility. We have immigration officers, we have custom, we have police, we have people on our roads. How are they getting into our territory? Do you understand me?
They can't take the bush part.
They can't take the bush part. I said it before. I said it before you arrived that our major problem is at our borders.
Our borders.
And the officers at our borders are being controlled by some people.
Yeah.
Do you know have control of customs?
Do you know that these people who speak the northern language might not even be Nigerians?
Yes, they
might not. These are kind of people that we are talking about. They might not even be Nigerians.
Exactly what I said. Some of them are not Nigerians.
I did the same thing you did in Agbeloba. I decided to stop bikes, and you stopped 5, Abi. I stopped 10. All Hausas. I stopped 10. Not only Hausas, even the people from what is this called? Benue. Not only Hausas.
And they are not likely to be registered with
Mr. Shodipo, this registration, will it work? Because even if you are registered, you must go and ply those roads.
Yeah.
You must go and know the areas, the corners, and can't we just do something to know, let me say, the database of those people.
That's part of
The-
registration.
the-
That's part of registration.
The registration, I think
Because
they
you
are
find out
doing
that some of these Okada riders too are not even a member of Akomoron, are not even a member of Robo. Because if you are registered, you must be either, you must belong to one
Now,
of
let
them.
me tell you one thing. Part of the problem we have, we keep going back to the political will. Sometimes the police or the security agents will come with some actions. And before you know it, by the time calls starts coming in,
Released.
from left and right.
They're released.
They're released. You know, and the police were only coming back to talk. Look at the soldier, the military man he talked about. If it were you were in issue, what would you have done? Some of these officers, they are on OC, they are working. I keep asking a question. Why is it that when our police officers go to on foreign missions, why do they come back with laurels? Most of our officers, there is no Nigerian officer that go for foreign mission that don't come back with laurels. In fact, some of them are retained in those countries. The point here is that these police officers are working.
We have another caller.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah from Abeokuta.
Hello, Jeremiah.
Mr. Kum, again, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is unfortunate that our military arm has been implicated. And also, those we are referring to as politicians of today are still military men in power. There is LISI, the CP, the DOC, and other heads of the military and paramilitary agencies as long as they are being implicated. I think the way forward is that every Nigerian should rise up to the challenge. They're looking at you people, I know it is all written on your face. As you have a presently, they even want to change the future. The moment the media cannot talk again, forget about Twitter. Let me say that it's the NDC. Probably because I'm also a journalist, not particularly economic military officer. But most times, what we go through before we can come back home and tell you that it's going on. Every Nigerian should just wake up, the next time, the reality of what we are doing ahead. Visa on arrival, there are so many things to do. I want to be brother. My brother is lot of data communication. So the best we can do, Nigeria, the moment to see, not plan B. Let's begin with our plan B and tell our leaders that we want to be done. When the time is not to bring them, we should go because we have not seen changes. We are telling us that we are saying. More time to be let Nigeria be protected.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we are hitting the home stretch now. Yes, we have said a whole lot of this, and of course, we all know, just like you have said, those the government and stakeholders, they know the answers to this. And in as much as we know what to do and we are not doing it, unfortunately, it's only because we can take all the crimes together. I don't think there are up to 10% of Nigerians that are involved in all these things.
Let me also say that I want to challenge our judiciary. Now, something happened in Ogun State, not quite long. A police officer arrested some criminals. This officer was bribed with 2 million naira. He refused the bribe. He made sure he followed up the case, did every investigation, perfected everything, transferred this thing to the judiciary, to charge it to court. And for one reason or the other, lack of whatever, maybe the court is not sitting or something, the case was, was thrown out, and the criminal was back on the road. Now, this officer, what do you think will be going on at the back of his mind? These are the challenges. These are the challenges. Wouldn't the officer be thinking, if I had known, I would have taken the 2 million?
Yes, sir. We are about wrapping up the program.
Can I just say something about what you just said?
Before you talk,
I'm sorry, please. Yes, I want to also tell you categorically here that we have good hands in the Nigerian police force. At times, we don't have a database, and you will see our Nigerian police arresting criminals.
You know what I want to
don't
contribute?
know how they do that.
Let's just take Adeleko Ayeni from the last caller now. Quickly, 2 minutes. Ayeni.
Yeah. Thank you. Good morning, gentlemen and ladies there.
Good morning.
My contribution is that I'm a retired army officer. Good morning. The only problem with our government is that let them recruit enough security boys. Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, with you.
When they recruit enough security boys, our strength, we have 1 million, guiding up about 200 million. That's good about 100 million soldiers and security and whatever they be. The other time before the war, at Niger River there, we lost about 3 million soldiers. But the later, we won the game. Let them recruit enough security men. All these are, let's recruit them. Bring our security to the 100 million strength.
Okay, thank you. I think you've made your point. We don't have, that should be the last caller. Thank you very much, Ayeni.
100 million people.
Okay, thank you. You wrap up. Everybody will have his passing shot. Honorable Leye, I'll come to you.
Okay.
But let's have him fire your passing shot.
Thank you very much. Just a minute. Major General Adeniyi was at the Timbuktu Triangle with his men and his armored tanks. They were ambushed. His men were there. He made a video call to his commander that they're on ground. They're not running away. Major General Adeniyi was demoted. Some few months ago, a soldier and his girlfriend were caught for supplying information to the terrorists. Has it been tried? Wakili, a certain Wakili, who operated like a Russian czar in Ibarapa, he and his kinsmen, for years, the OPC with traditional power caught him. The men who caught him were imprisoned. What does this send down to the people on ground? Some of us, when we speak here, we have friends and relatives who have died in this war as soldiers and who are still on the front line. But when we have an Attorney General who is more bothered about cows and how they move than humans and their rights, it's a challenge. And Honorable, I'm happy you were very clear. You can be partisan and still be objective. Yeah. But I know you people are clearer when you leave office. The truth is that in the House, even at the Senate, when you make good laws and the governor and the president fail to sign it, there's an option. There's a next step that can be done. I think our governors and senators should start thinking towards such option in states where they are not affected. Senator Smart was just crying because he learned that the terrorists are approaching Abuja. At what stage did they start crying? And we could see Senator Remi Tinubu telling him, are you a wolf? If you are in APC and people are dying, people are being raped, farms are being burnt, then you should quiet. I mean, that is, a time must come when a man must either choose to be alive or dagger his conscience. Political will, sincerity at the top level is vital. If not, those who are not safe will make everywhere unsafe.
Well, for my part, I will just encourage our local dwellers, Nigerians, that we should not give up on Nigeria. We should keep playing our role. Personally, everybody is affected. I have a friend who have not found his brother, a legal practitioner in Ibadan. It's over 2 months now. No contact, nothing, no ransom being requested, and we are still looking for this man. So I want to say we should keep it up, and then we should ensure we work towards, making Nigeria come to the path of truth and sincerity, because without it, we're going nowhere. We keep parabolating.
Yes, I want to just call on our government to please save us in this country. All these bandits, the herdsmen, the Boko Haram are being talked to through a line of communication.
Exactly.
And I don't know why they cannot be traced, so that to hack these people and deal with them accordingly. I don't know what is stopping our government from doing that. The family of the kidnapped students had to pay ransom of 180 million to bring them, and 100 Okada to bring back the children. Who are those people that they communicated with? Gumi negotiating on behalf of bandits. And Gumi is going up and down with police escorts.
And Sunday Igboho cannot talk.
And people like Sunday Igboho, who was fighting because of the Yorubas, are being gagged. And so many other people that we have one of our people that visited the Boko Haram den to negotiate with them, to discuss with them, which means our government knows where these people are. Something should be done about all this. They should stop fooling us in this country.
Interestingly, thank you very much. Interestingly, it's not about just civilians that are saying that government, once they have the will, all this will come to an end. Yes. Even we have past military officers who have come to one of our programs or the other that say with more sincerity, with genuineness of purpose and activity, we can bring all this to a standstill. Well, we hope if this is the way God is using to punish us, we pray that this punishment is over. And of course, we seek for forgiveness. Let us have a path so that we'll continue to sleep with two eyes closed as we used. Then, with our forefathers, there was no communication, there was no electricity, but there was security. And they were also happy that they were living their lives. Now that we have every gadget that can fish out a crime in just a jiffy, then we are having problems in Nigeria. Why? Well, the question we'll continue to talk about until we have the answer. And hopefully, God willing, we'll have the answer very, very soon.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Ifeanyi Nwachukwu, social communicator, thank you. We thoroughly enjoyed you.
Yeah, thank you.
Honorable Leye Odunjo, former member of the House Assembly, we want to thank you very much. And of course, Comrade Kunle Shodipo, Director of Public Relations, PCRC Southwest. We have also enjoyed it. Thank you for the program. Charity, thanks for doing your job.
You're welcome.
And of course, we'll be back again Wednesday next week talking about the Wednesday edition of New Dawn with Charity James and Akim Akitunde. Till then, enjoy the rest of our program. Thanks for watching.